Thank you. Mr. Haley.
Thank you. I've said it 100 times here, I really like the Constitution and the amendments thereof. And tonight we're going to talk about the first one, the freedom of speech. I think it's pretty good because you can come and you can say anything you want so long as it doesn't present a danger, okay? I think that that's wonderful. If you have an opinion on something, please come and share it. Specifically, I'd like to address Mr. Scott because when he was the mayor, I was a participant in the casual conversations, and a lot of things were brought to our collective attention. And one of them was the chickens, okay? And somebody came to the former mayor and one of the other city council people and said, why don't we have chickens in Corona? And because it was a citizen's request, we acted upon it. And we brought it to infrastructure. And Mr. Montanez and I sat on that committee, and quite frankly, I was dead set against the chickens. I figured we've got the Colonel, we got a Pollo Loco, we got Costco, what do we need chickens for? Well, these people, God love them, fought City Hall. They fought us, and they said, well, they fought me, is what they did, is they fought me. And they brought this thing to a study session, and we had expert opinions come on out and said basically, and I asked 3 people here, specifically, can you give me a reason why we shouldn't have chickens? And not one of them could. And they gave a very, very compelling reasons why they should, and I said, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm for chickens in Corona. And by God, we passed an ordinance, and we're going to review it later on to see how it works. That's the way it's supposed to work. Anybody, including the gentleman who was here earlier, was talking about the flags. He can come here and he can talk about the flags. I wish he was still here, but to let you know that there is a flag ordinance that's being looked at currently, and those flags are part of them. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is that if you notice, we have oral communication from the public, and it says you can speak on any item not on the agenda. And we give you 3 minutes to talk about anything you want. All politics is local. If it's important to you that you're going to come down here after dinner, it's important to you, and I get that. We had a gentleman come and talk about a neighbor who he and his dog were not as friendly as perhaps they could have been, and we directed it to Chief Abel, and Chief Abel was able to solve that problem. This is the place to do it, okay? This is the place to do it. So if you've got a complaint, for crying out loud, come on down and let us know what it is, because if we can fix it, we're going to fix it. That's what we do here. The reason that you're allowed to speak for 3 minutes is that is the rules. That's what we have in our country, that you can come and you can speak and talk about anything you want. Now, here in Corona, this is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, Dean, step in and save me, will you? Okay. We don't necessarily have to respond or react because you could be coming here and sideswiping us. Do I dare use the word ambush? I'm a Marine. We don't take ambushing very well. But you could do that, and that's unfair to us. That's not fair. The city council, the city staff, when they come here, they're prepared to talk about things. And I applaud Mrs. Eden tonight and Mr. Daly tonight because they gave us answers to questions that we wanted. And we thank you for that because you guys are the pros. You're really, really good. Our city department heads are very, very good, and they're prepared because they know what we're going to be talking about here. We need to do that as well. Somebody once said that the way that our city works, and I kind of like it, is basically, if I can use my Marine Corps analogy again, I will, that we're like the generals, 5 of us. We're like the generals, and it's our job to win the war. And what we do is we talk to the men in the field and ladies in the field, okay? and we say to the department heads, this is what we need you to do, get this job done. We certainly don't tell the fire department how to put out fires. That's what they do. We don't talk to the fellas who work on the fire trucks how to fix fire truck. We don't do that. We don't know how to do that. We don't know how to take care of bridges, and we don't know how to take care of bad guys. That's what we have department heads for. So to have a council chat and come here and say, hey, why did you do this? Sometimes that's just not fair, because we don't know what the captains and colonels do when they're out in their battles. That's why you don't go to a general and ask him why he did this or that. I believe in transparency. If you've got a specific complaint, a specific question, we have specific ways for you to find out the answers to that. We've got the Freedom of Information Act. Okay? You can ask us specifically, why did, for instance, if we can pick on the fire department, you guys just bought a new fire truck, didn't you? Been $500,000 for a fire truck without a trade-in? But they have documentation of why that happened. What we want to do is we want to take care of the 155,000 people in a respectful manner. We treat you, the citizens of our fair city, respectfully. And I, speaking for myself now, not my colleagues, I expect to be treated fairly too. So if you're going to come to us and say, we're going to have a talk, but we're not telling you what it's about, that's not fair. That's an ambush. I don't like that. If you've got a specific problem, please come to us and let us know what's going on. The chicken people did. The chicken people won. You can now have chickens in Corona, subject to ordinances. We had a study session here recently, and we talked about the community center. I can count on one hand how many people were here that were not involved with the city or staff or the architects or the people who are actually here. I hate to use the word civilians, but I'm going to, I think, because you all know what I'm talking about. Citizens, I guess it's a good word to use. When we have study sessions here, we have incredibly low attendance. Incredibly low attendance. What's the answer? I don't know. But I do know this. If you want to talk to me, you can. If you want to talk to my colleagues, you can. If you want to get information about our fair city, you can. We are transparent. Thank you.